The sun blazed over the vast Australian outback as Emma Carter, a 26-year-old American travel vlogger, tightened her grip on the steering wheel of her rented campervan. The open road stretched endlessly before her, dust swirling in the air as she filmed a segment for her channel. Guys, this is it! The legendary Wolgan Valley, remote, wild, and completely untouched. Just me, my camera, and the adventure of a lifetime, she beamed, unaware that this trip would soon turn into a chilling nightmare. Needing a break, Emma pulled into Cobar, a small, sleepy town on the edge of nowhere. The town had a strange aura, too quiet, too still. As she entered a local cafe, the sound of a bell above the door echoed too loudly, as if announcing her arrival to something unseen. She ordered a coffee, flipping through her notes about the valley's history. The place had a dark past, stories of travelers who vanished without a trace. Urban legend, she thought, nothing more. That's when she noticed her. A frail Aboriginal woman, her skin weathered by time, sat in the farthest corner, her deep-set eyes locked onto Emma. She wasn't just looking, she was staring. The kind of stare that made your spine crawl. Emma shifted uncomfortably, but before she could brush it off, the woman stood up and walked straight toward her. The cafe went dead silent, as if the walls themselves were holding their breath. The woman grabbed Emma's wrist, her grip ice cold. Her voice was barely a whisper, yet it sent a shiver down Emma's spine. "Hurry up, tomorrow. You must leave before it's too late." Emma blinked. What? But the woman just stared, her expression unreadable. The cafe owner rushed over, apologizing and gently pulling the woman away. "Don't mind her," he said nervously. She says that to travelers sometimes." Emma let out a nervous laugh, shaking off the unease creeping up her neck. She turned to her camera, recording her reaction. "Okay, guys, so apparently I've just been cursed? Classic horror movie stuff, right?" she joked. "If I don't post tomorrow, you know what happened." Little did she know, her words would soon become terrifyingly real. That night, Emma parked her van near the edge of the Blue Mountains, her final stop before heading deeper into the outback. The golden sunset painted the sky, casting long shadows that moved just a little too strangely. As she set up her camera for a night vlog, the wind picked up, carrying with it faint whispers. She froze. Did she just hear something? Her heartbeat quickened, but when she looked around, nothing. The desert was empty, still. Shaking her head, she brushed it off as wind playing tricks on her mind. But the uneasiness remained, creeping up her spine like a slow, cold hand. At exactly midnight, she jolted awake. Thump, footsteps right outside her van. Holding her breath, she peeked through the curtains. Nothing, but when she turned back to her phone, her screen was on, a new message from an unknown number. "Hurry up tomorrow!" Her blood ran ice cold. She wanted to believe it was a prank. Maybe one of her subscribers found her number. But deep inside, a whisper of dread grew. Maybe, just maybe, she should have listened. If you're hooked right now, imagine the full story. Subscribe for more insane real-life mysteries and terrifying disappearances. You don't want to miss what happens next. The next morning, Emma woke up with a pounding headache. The eerie message from last night still lingered in her mind. She unlocked her phone to check again, but the message was gone. No trace, no record. Maybe she had imagined it? Maybe exhaustion and isolation were messing with her mind? Shrugging it off, she grabbed her camera and hit record. "All right, guys, day 2 in the wild Australian outback. Last night was weird, but hey, we're still here," she said, forcing a laugh. She packed up and headed deeper into Wolgan Valley, the land stretching endlessly before her. Silent, untouched, and eerily empty. Little did she know, this would be her final recording. As she drove, Emma noticed a small dirt path leading off the main road. It wasn't on her map, but something about it called to her. "I think we just found a secret route. Let's check it out," she told her viewers. She parked and stepped out, camera in hand, feeling a strange pull in her gut, a mix of excitement and unease. Then, She saw it. A torn backpack, half buried in the dirt, near what looked like an old campfire site. Her breath hitched as she crouched down, brushing away the dust. Inside the backpack was a half-burned notebook. The pages were yellowed, crumpled, but one line stood out, scrawled in jagged, desperate handwriting. I ignored the warning. Now I'm trapped. Emma's hands trembled as she turned the page, but the rest of the words were charred beyond recognition. She glanced around. The silence was deafening. Had someone else been here? What happened to them? A gust of wind blew through the valley, carrying a sound with it. A whisper. "Hurry up tomorrow." Emma froze. The same words, the same warning, but this time, she wasn't alone. Something is watching her. Suddenly, her GPS lost signal. The screen flickered before going completely black. Her compass spun wildly, as if pulled by some unseen force. Then, snap! A branch cracked behind her. Emma spun around, camera shaking in her grip. "Hello?" she called out, forcing a nervous laugh. No response, just the wind, and the overwhelming feeling that she was being watched. She turned back to her van, picking up the pace. Every step felt heavier. Then something moved in the distance. A dark figure, tall, still, staring. Emma's breath hitched. The moment she blinked, it was gone. Her heart pounded against her ribs as she reached her van and slammed the door shut. She locked it, every single bolt. Tears burned in her eyes as she grabbed her phone, ready to call for help. But before she could dial, her screen lit up with another message. From the same unknown number. "Hurry up tomorrow." She dropped the phone. Her entire body shook. This wasn't a prank. This was real. The final recording that night, Emma did the only thing she could think of. She went live. Guys, I don't know what's happening, but I think something is out here." Her voice cracked, her eyes darting to the windows. Thousands of viewers flooded the comments. "Emma, get out of there. This is not a joke. Leave now." "Who else saw that behind her?" Emma's pulse spiked. "Saw what?" she whispered. The stream glitched, the screen flickered. For a split second, a shadow moved behind her. Then, darkness. The live stream cut mid-scream. And just like that, Emma Carter was never seen again. Subscribe now if you want to know the terrifying truth behind her disappearance. For 3 days, no one heard from Emma Carter. Her fans flooded social media, desperate for answers. Speculations ran wild. Was this a hoax? Had she staged it for views? Or had something truly sinister happened? Her last live stream had millions of views. Viewers analyzed every second of the footage. Some claimed they saw a shadow moving behind her, while others swore they heard a whisper just before the stream cut off. But no one could explain the most chilling part, why she had disappeared without a trace. The search begins. Authorities launched a massive search operation, tracking Emma's last known location. Her van was found parked at the edge of the Wogan Valley wilderness. The doors were locked. Her phone was on the dashboard. The keys were still in the ignition. But Emma was gone. There were no footprints, no signs of a struggle, no indication of where she had gone. The rescue team combed through the surrounding areas, calling out her name. Only silence answered them. Then, one of the search dogs stopped, whining, refusing to move forward. The handler tried pulling him, but the dog's entire body trembled. Something wasn't right. A few feet ahead, half buried in the dirt, lay Emma's camera. The final recording authorities recovered the footage, hoping it would explain what had happened. What they saw sent shivers down their spines. The video showed Emma running, her breath ragged, tears streaking down her face. She was shaking, glancing over her shoulder as if something was chasing her. She turned the camera toward herself, her face pale with terror. "I should have listened. I should have left," she whispered, her voice barely audible. A sound erupted behind her. She spun around, her scream piercing through the night. The camera tumbled to the ground, landing on its side. For a split second, a shadowed figure appeared at the edge of the frame. Tall, still, watching. Then, the screen cut to black. The vanishing, and the legend. Despite weeks of searching, Emma was never found. Some believe she was taken by the spirits of the outback, the ones who warn travelers but punish those who don't listen. Others claim she was a victim of something far more sinister, something beyond human understanding. To this day, some say they still hear her voice in the wind whispering, "Hurry up tomorrow." Her last video still exists, and those who watch it claim the whispers in the background aren't just static. Some believe it's her, trying to warn others before it's too late. Others say it's something else, something waiting for its next victim. The story isn't over. Do you believe this was supernatural, a curse, or something else? Comment your theories below. If you made it this far, hit that subscribe button. More terrifying mysteries, shocking disappearances, and haunting real-life stories are coming your way. Like, share, and subscribe if you dare to enter the unknown.